Bonjour, bonjour, comrade subscribers. I thought this was a little bit interesting. It's the EXL100 by Exelvision in France. Came out in 1984. As you can see, it's a separate main unit and keyboard with no wires because it's got uses infrared. So there's the infrared receiver on the machine there. Rubber keyboard. It's not too bad actually. Well, from the few minutes that I've used it. Apparently I think you could get a proper key switch one or mechanical one, I think. There was another type of keyboard you could get. And I know what Jeremy's thinking now is he's thinking, yep, let's redo this keyboard in Cherry MX. So we might look at doing that. So yeah, it's an interesting machine in that it uses the Texas Instrument TMS7020, I think off the top of my head, the only computer to use it. And the reason being is that some of the people involved in the design were ex-Texas Instruments engineers. So, you know, go with what you know, what you're comfortable with. Yeah, so we've got cartridge slot on the front. So I think it only had like 4K of ROM or something. ROM actually comes, the basic actually comes on a ROM. So we've got cartridge, we've got the infrared, reset button, I guess, on-off switch there, and if I'm pressing this correctly, this is where the joysticks were stored. So we've got 2-player as well, 2 different colours. Yeah, unfortunately this one's missing the battery cover. So it looks like 9-volt batteries. As you can see, also infrared. And then we just place them back in here, like so. Okay. And there we go. Too easy. What else we got? So it's got internal AC power, so we've just got a C7 plug here, 220 volts. I guess we've got some sort of expansion in there. So there were floppy disks and printers and stuff like that. So that's probably what's behind there. So we'll have a look at that. And then we've got 2 cutouts here so that cables can run through. I can do this elegantly. For the cassette, magnetophone, and or LEP, and RGB out. So the RGB out appears to be a DA15 plug there. So it comes with a cable, so DA15 to SCART, of course, because it's from France. So we've got the SCART cable here. So I think it's DA15, isn't it? 15 pin to SCART. 5-pin DIN, so I assume that's for the LEP, for the magnetophone, for the cassette. And yeah, we'll open it up and have a look for sure. Interestingly, cartridges came on these. I might have to zoom out a bit. Hang on, that might be better. It's a pretty big box. Remind you of anything? Maybe a VHS tape. So they do appear to be ex-VHS tape boxes. You open it up. So we've got basic and we've got tennis. So if we have a look at, oh, cool. Original receipt. That's pretty neat. 1987. XL Basic, and I guess this is tennis perhaps. Okay, tells you how to use it. Joysticks, instructions, and then we've got the cartridge in here, which is actually a little insert because it's a VHS box or a videotape box. And that's the cartridge actually. So it's quite a look. Quite a small, actually, quite a small thin cartridge. Looks like, okay, that's pretty neat. Yeah, so I'll go in here, I guess, okay, I guess you're gonna have to open it up first and then install like so. There we go. So we'll open it up. We'll probably take it downstairs to the workbench. We'll open it up and have a look inside, and then what am I going to do? So I'll probably connect this up to my DVD recorder because that's got SCART input, and then output S-video to my S-video to HDMI converter, and then HDMI to USB, and then I can capture the output. Or I could do what I've just done before, and that's connect this up to the GBS8200. That'll go to VGA. Anyway, I'll figure something out. So there we go. Interesting machine. We should make computers French again. Some of their cool designs like the Thompson and the Hector. So yeah, all right. Shall we, before we pull it apart, shall we try out tennis? Try the tennis cartridge out. I'm wondering, I've been having a look around, and the guys on the Re-Enthused YouTube channel, they've done a few videos on the EXL100, and they've also created a new keyboard. So if yours didn't come with a keyboard, they've created a replacement keyboard, and they've also created replacement joysticks. So you can plug in a normal Atari joystick, for example. So yeah, they've done some interesting work. I wouldn't mind doing a new keyboard for this, but making it wired perhaps, because at the moment I can't use the keyboard on top. I have to kind of sit back here with it. Same with the joysticks. But anyway, so cartridge. It looks like, I don't know if anyone's actually dumped all the, well, I assume someone's dumped all the cartridges, but I don't know if someone's made like a replacement multi-cartridge. Just trying to see how to get this off. So it looks like you've got some tabs on the side there. Okay, looks like they pull in. Do I have anything? Of course, nothing down handy down here, do I? Let me find something. Maybe the screwdriver. See if we can have a look inside what's inside here, because it's quite thin actually. Seems to be coming up if I do that. Maybe. Ah! Whoops! Okay, no. Well, that'll show me inside a bit better anyway. I wasn't supposed to do that. Maybe it just lifts off. Maybe this is a red herring. Those might be just a red herring. Let's use this tool here. If I can get it out. Maybe, what's spudger? Ah, there we go. That seems to be coming out a bit nicer. And on this side, maybe go around. Oh, careful not to push it and it goes closed again. Okay, obviously this corner was easy because I broke it. So that's why I'm doing this, so that you guys don't do it. Alright, I'll keep that side's coming off nicely. I just want to see, because as I say, it's quite thin, so maybe it's a surface mount something. Alright, I'm going to sit down, concentrate on this, get it off. I managed to get it out with only breaking a little bit more plastic, but it is le blob. So I'm assuming it's some sort of ROM that can be dumped. If it hasn't already been dumped, I'm pretty sure it's been dumped. So pretty boring actually. But I'm assuming that you know, we've got address pins and we've got data pins. So it should be some way of making a multi-ROM So that goes on like that, so it can be pushed in. I guess I'm still going to need the case. So that goes on there like that. So that pushes in. Okay, so in like that. And then you push up the plastic and it goes over the lip and locks in like that. Alright. So first, let's give this a go. So I'll plug it in. And then start recording. And then power on. And we have tennis, Exelvision. Choice to court, choose the court. So blue, red, blue, blue, red, blue. I don't know. Get a joystick out. I think this is number 1. Okay. So I've got this one out, number pad on it. So I want to make a new type of joystick as well. Got some thoughts about it. Anyways, let's have a look. So let's just go 1. So I'm pressing 1. There we go. Miss en place du central. So something about being patient for some instance. Okay, choose the options. So debutante, amateur, pro. So I'm a debutante. Demo, 1 player, 2 players. We'll do 1 player. Yep. 3 sets or 5 sets. So I'll press 3. Ready or something. Okay, do I have to do anything? Press fire or something. Move the joystick. Yes, I'm ready. Push the hash button. Okay, no. Oh, ruined that, didn't I? 1 player, 3 sets. Ready, yes I am. Do I have to do something? Do I have to press something on the keyboard? Press return. Pressing space. Alright, press space on the keyboard. Okay. I'm not moving. Which one am I? That must be me up the top. Maybe the joystick doesn't work. I'm pressing buttons. Alright, that's the number 1 joystick. Let me try and get the battery cover off. Okay, just stand by while I swap batteries. A little bit annoying. 9-volt batteries. Okay, let's see if this one in here works. So the keypad works. That doesn't mean anything. The actual joystick itself is a bit mushy. Alright, just going to let the battery hang out. Am I moving now? No. Alright, I think let's try demo then. Okay. See, it's not even registering now. Okay, I'm going to use the keyboard. 1, okay. We'll just do the demo. We'll let the computer play itself. Okay. Let's do Pro then. Pro, demo, and 3 sets. Don't worry, we're not going to play 3 sets. If I press space, it went straight away. So maybe there is an issue with the joystick. So I'll be looking at making some new joysticks, I think. Okay, let's see Pro against itself. I remember Tennis on the Game Boy, on the original Game Boy. That was awesome. Mario Tennis, was it? That was always a lot of fun. So it's pretty colourful. Okay. Seems to be running quite nicely, doesn't it? It's not laggy or anything. Alright, enough of that. There we go. So that's a game on the EXL100. I won't bother with basic because I don't have anything to load it with. Let's pull apart a joystick, and let's also pull apart the machine, I think. Let's stop recording that. Okay, see what's inside. Have a look at the joystick. So I'm just thinking about the cartridge. So if we pull the machine apart, obviously we can't tell much from here apart from, you can probably tell power and ground. So one of these is going to be power, one of these is going to be ground. Yeah, it's probably, what, a 16K ROM? But you should be able to, from having a look at the, if there's no schematics available, I'm guessing you could probably have a look at the pinout of the TMS CPU, and then trace the address lines, trace the data lines back to where the edge connector is for the cartridge, and maybe figure it out that way. Alright, no screws. Oh, it's going to be another one of these break the plastic clips. Those re-enthused guys, I think they've also done replacement joystick cover that you can 3D print, which is pretty neat because mine's missing one. Alright, let's see. Let's move in a little bit. Looks like the top might come off. The top's coming off relatively easily. Okay. Although I don't want to speak too soon, do I? Okay, that was relatively easy. Okay. Numpad. Mushy. Okay. So, okay, so it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 directions on the joystick. That's pretty neat. So I've got obviously some conductive material there that I could probably repaint if that's the problem, because I do have that silver paint I used on the Thompson keyboard somewhere safe. I could probably repaint those with that silver paint just to get the conductivity back up again. Bit of rubber there. So there we've got that was the 2 buttons as well. Okay. Right. Yep, MC14497. I have to see if Unicorn Electronics have got any of those spare. So we've got 2 IR. I assume they're both transmitters. One's not a receiver. I think so. I think they both transmit, so give you a bit of, you don't have to worry about the angles so much. That's pretty neat. But all pretty simple. Like I said, the re-enthused guys have already kind of reproduced this anyway, so I might have a look at what they've done, but I wouldn't mind having a crack at it myself. The way they've done it is they've got a board with the key switch with the number pad on, so just using little tactile switches. Of course, I want to use Cherry MX. And then they've got a DE, and then I think they've got all the infrared stuff on there, and then they've got a DE9 socket so that you can plug an Atari joystick in. But I'm just thinking of reproducing it all on one board, perhaps, just to do something different. That's yeah, pretty easy. I wonder if you do need 9 volts or whether you can get away with 5 volts. Well, I guess it's nice having a battery in there rather than having to plug a cable in to power it. Okay, fascinating, all good. Okay, put that to the side. I'll put everything kind of back together so I don't lose everything. Okay, so I found some ROMs. So the ROMs have been dumped, but I've not seen any sort of kind of mega ROM, multi-ROM design yet. So maybe that's still something possible. Right, screws. Actually, we haven't had a look at the expansion ports. This is where I think you can get whack a modem into. RS232. So I've got an edge connector. Got one edge connector there. And a second one there. Okay. Edge connectors are available for expansion. Go in. Okay. Right, so we've got screws. Alright, let me unscrew them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There might be a screw under here. Let's see, will it go through? Yep, looks like there's a screw under there. Okay, that's better. Expansion ports popping off. Okay, that one's still not done properly. Feels a bit heavy, so it sounds like maybe the transformer's on the bottom half. Maybe turn it over. It's everything. There we go. Alright, so lid comes off. Put that over there. Cool. Okay, so there we go. That'll be the cartridge door. And I think, okay, this has come off a little bit. Cool. Okay. Oh, it's not plugged in anyway. Right. Nice big beefy transformer with power connected to the board. Okay. So I guess we do our rectification. And maybe that's looks like a 7805. So I've got our regulation there. See if it just the whole board. Looks like the whole board comes out. I think it's stuck to anything, is it? No, no, it's just a capacitor in the way. Cool, it's a very beefy heatsink on that little 7805. You know what I want to do, of course, replace it with a switching one. So we've got some nice. Okay, so it's like we've got the RAM. It's So in this case, the actual case is going to be a little bit more complicated because we've got the joystick holders here. So the joystick's sitting there. And we push it. Oh, okay. Wow, it is quite a little complex little design there. As you can see here, it's pretty cool. You push it in, it goes around and hooks in, and then we push it out. Cool. Some thought went into that. Alright, what do I have rolling around in here? Okay, looks like some spacer. So spacers come off from somewhere, maybe there. And that's the reset button. Okay, reset button. And we've got the power switch, which I just caught with my foot. No, it's on the ground. So there we go. Pretty simple. Well, not simple really, but I quite like this design. It's really quite neat. So obviously on the bottom we've got the springs. Okay, let's get the case out of the way. Bottom case. and have a look at the board itself. Okay, so maybe move the light over there. So where we go? What do we got? What do we got? So it looks like we've got the RAM over here. TMS. What did I say? How much RAM does this thing have? TMS4408-20. So it looks like we've got do we have 8 of them? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 8 in total. So there'll be some sort of 1 bit, I guess. TMX3556. TMS. So I guess one of them, that could be the ROM there. That could be. Let's have a closer look. And we've got, okay, here's the edge connector. So that's what I'm interested in as well, just to basically try and figure out what the cartridge pinout is. So I've not seen a cartridge pinout yet. If we can get a cartridge pinout, then we can maybe make a multi cartridge board. I'm not. I'm a bit worried. I'm going to break that regulator. I might actually desolder it. Yeah, I'm going to break it. All right, let me just desolder it. Okay, there we go. Motorola MC702005. So 5-volt regulator. So whenever I look at these sort of things, I wonder if that's the only voltage it's using, then, you know, can you just run it off a USB rather than having the big bulky transformer and stuff? So like I was saying, I was quite interested to try and figure out what the cartridge pinout might be, so that we could make a multi-cartridge, perhaps. Doesn't look too difficult. So all the lines are on the bottom, so if we can follow them. But anyway, let's have a. It's good they actually got the part, of course, you know, whether or not you can actually get that cartridge edge connector anymore. Right, let's have a closer look. Okay, so at the front we've got the infrared module, or receiving module. I was expecting to see, because the Motorola, what was it, 14497 part in the joystick should have, there is a corresponding Motorola part for the receiver. But it looks like we've got a French part in there, ITT. Because obviously also that it needs to be able to, I assume, differentiate between the keyboard and the 2 joysticks at the same time. So using different frequencies or something like that. Right, so over here, so this is the power input section here. So we've got some diodes there, I guess, for the rectification. 7805 went there. Got some transistors, I guess. No? Oh, no. 7812. Okay, so we've got 7812 there. Obviously, maybe so we've got 12 volts. 7905, so we've got minus 5 volts. And maybe that's a transistor. I'm not sure. Alright, so we've got negative 5 volts and we've got 12 volts. Okay, so maybe if that's what the RAM requires, or something else on here requires. That's pretty cool. The only I have to get a Traco if I want to replace the 7905. Anyway, right, what else we got? Texas Instruments, surprise, surprise. TAL004. Oh, buffer 245. 244. Yeah, buffers and stuff. So I'm just trying to look for trying to figure out L300029 2N. Okay, I'm not sure what that one is. Have to look it up. So I better linger on it. So I'll give myself 4 seconds to figure out what it is. C34802. No. Okay, so that, no, that's not. Is that the, no? That's the speech synthesizer, isn't it? TMS 5220. Is that the speech synthesizer? So maybe that's the CPU. Maybe that's the CPU. More buffers. Oh, we got some link wires there. Okay, maybe. And then up to the RAM again. And then we've got the SCART RGB output there, DA15, and we've got the cassette input there as well, 5-pin DIN. DA15 for the RGB and 5-pin DIN. And then we've got our edge connectors here as well. Okay. Okay. So maybe that is the CPU there, perhaps. Custom CPU. Not sure. So that's basically it. Neat little machine. So my first task, well, what I want to do is try and reproduce the joystick. I know Re-Enthused guys have already done an implementation. I want to try something slightly different, and then also try and see if we can do a multi-cart. Yeah, and also need to be able to load something off tape and maybe get a new keyboard. There we go. Hopefully that was of some interest. I quite enjoy the French designed computers. They're intriguing. I find them intriguing. Anyway, okay, that's it all for now. Next we'll be trying to figure this pin out, I guess, once I figure out which one is the, because it was a TMS7220 or something, wasn't it? It was the CPU, but I'm not seeing anything obvious on here, and I certainly can't see anything labelled. So, because yeah, there was the CPU, there was a speech chip, there was the graphics chip. So maybe that, and looking at the lack of everything else, there might be some sort of gate array or ULA equivalence, I guess, as well. Okay, that's it. Bye for now.